Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
All right, you squares. For all these people calling bullshit, when I present something, folks, I want to let you guys know that it's usually backed up by a lot of work, by a lot of stuff that's already in the media. This is not new. So when you call bullshit on something I say, you better be ready to back it up, which I know most of you can't. But here's another one for you. Las Vegas strip shooter prescribed anti-anxiety drug in June. This is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. The Las Vegas strip shooter prescribed anti-anxiety drug in June. Henderson doctor wrote a prescription for the drug to Stephen Paddock, 64 of Mesquite, and he filled it the same day in Reno, according to a prescription monitoring program record obtained by the Review-Journal. Stephen Paddock, who killed at least 58 people and wounded hundreds more in Las Vegas on Sunday with high-powered rifles, was prescribed an anti-anxiety drug in June that can lead to aggressive behavior, the Las Vegas Review-Journal has learned. Records from the Nevada Prescription Monitoring Program obtained Tuesday show Paddock was prescribed 50 10-milligram diazepam tablets by Henderson physician Dr. Stephen Winkler on June 21st. Diazepam is a sedative hypnotic drug in the class of drugs known as benzodiazepines, which studies have shown can trigger aggressive behavior. If somebody has an underlying aggression problem and you sedate them with that drug, they can become aggressive. Dr. Mel Pohl, chief medical officer of the Las Vegas Recovery Center, a woman who answered the phone at Winkler's office would not make him available to answer questions and would neither confirm nor deny that Paddock was ever a patient. Paddock purchased the drug. Its brand name is Valium, without insurance at a Walgreens store in Reno on the same day it was prescribed. He was supposed to take one pill a day. Diazepam is a sedative, hypnotic drug in the class of drugs known as benzodiazepines, which studies have shown can trigger aggressive behavior. Chronic use or abuse of these sedatives, such as diazepam, can also trigger psychotic experiences, according to drugabuse.com. Video taken during the mass shooting on the Las Vegas Strip at the Route 91 Music Festival near Mandalay Bay. Dr. Mel Pohl, officer of the Las Vegas Recovery Center, said it can disinhibit an underlying emotional state. It is much like what happens when you give alcohol to some people. They become aggressive instead of going to sleep. Pohl, who spoke to the Review-Journal from the Netherlands, said the effects of the drug also can be magnified by alcohol. A 2015 study published in the World Psychiatry of 960 Finnish adults and teens convicted of homicide showed that the odds of killing were 45% higher during time periods when they were on benzodiazepines. A year earlier, the Australian and New Zealand Journal of Psychiatry published a study titled Benzodiazepine Use and Aggressive Behavior. The authors wrote, it appears that benzodiazepine use is moderately associated with a subsequent aggressive behavior. Michael First, a clinical psychiatry professor at Columbia University and an expert on benzodiazepines, said the Finnish study speaks for itself, but he also told the Review-Journal on Tuesday that he believes the drugs will be more likely to fuel impulsive aggression than premeditated behavior. What this man in Las Vegas did was very planned, he noted, referring to reports that Paddock sneaked an arsenal of weapons into Mandalay Bay and placed cameras inside and outside his room before launching his attack. Why was it prescribed? First, it would be important to discover why Paddock was prescribed the drug. That may have more to do with why he did what he did. First, Now, Nevada State Monitoring Report also noted that Winkler prescribed 50 10 milligram tablets of diazepam to Paddock in 2016. Oh. He also filled that prescription the day it was written. This time at Evergreens Drugs in Henderson. It was for 2 tablets a day. Questions have long swirled around whether psychotic drugs are linked to mass school shootings in the United States, though researchers have yet to find a definitive connections despite several studies. Critics of unscientific linkage in the news media and on social media between psychiatric drugs and violence said it stigmatizes those who benefit from their use. That in turn can make people quit using medications that can actually be lifesavers. Monday, actress Kirstie Alley, best known for her role in the TV sitcom Cheers, stirred controversy by tweeting that guns and psychiatric drugs are the common denominators in recent mass shootings in the United States. She cited no evidence that Paddock had used the drugs. One additional common denominator of shooters in the USA's mass uses of psychiatric drugs, 8% do have side effects of violence and suicide. And that is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Las Vegas strip shooter prescribed anti-anxiety drugs in June. In other words, this dude had been off the record, been on these drugs for at least a year, at least a couple of years before the shooting. If I go back in my notes, we can find out exactly what Elliot Rodger was on the day he actually went on his binge, and a few others. Somebody can call bullshit all you want. Can't prove it. I got proof. I got 30 years worth of proof going all the way back, going back really before Columbine. They've written books about this stuff. And as it says here in the article, the reason that they don't say this or they don't acknowledge this is because they don't want people that are to be stigmatized that are on it. Because you got many, many, many more people that are on it that commit suicide rather than shooting other people. And you're giving this to millions of boys, of little boys across the United States, where they also, these people that are on it, they also let them have guns. So the medical profession, the psychiatric profession, and the pharmaceutical business does not want this connection to be advertised. These are acceptable losses to them, and has been for a very long time. Gary Null talked about this back in the early 1990s. And they were talking about it before, well before Columbine. Columbine actually started them to actually squash this down. I bet you I could, for all these people saying that can call bullshit, if I really wanted to, I could actually pull up at least 100 of these shootings that are connected to drugs or these psychotropic drugs. If I really wanted to blanket my channel, I could actually squash all this, because it is not just males, it's males and females. I bet you that dude in Ohio was probably on some of the same shit, but they always squash this because they don't want you to know. It's like they're not going to squash the opioid epidemic, even though hundreds of thousands of people are overdosing every year. Y'all think that this is a level playing field because that's what you've been socialized or brainwashed to think. Y'all think that your government is benign. Y'all think that the medical profession is benign. It's not. Never has been. I had a partner, man, got ousted, man, got blackballed from radio and television because he told you that a black hospital was basically doing vaccine experiments on black children. Y'all keep forgetting about the Tuskegee experiment or the drugs and stuff they were putting on GIs that caused them to actually come back with certain diseases, or had GIs in the battlefield when they had radioactive shit, they call depleted uranium. And these motherfuckers are coming back with giving their children birth defects. But you guys want to believe what you want to believe, but you don't believe that your government would actually do this shit. Come on now. Get real. Get real. If you call bullshit, then you got to prove bullshit. You calling it doesn't mean nothing. What you feel don't mean nothing. It's what you can prove. Most cats that call bullshit on what I say can't prove it. Anyway, that's enough of this rant. I mean, I got more, I got more. I don't normally follow this because I thought most people knew this stuff, but I guess most people are clueless. Shit's been around for 30 years. It's not new. It's not hidden. If you pull up a certain mass shooter and put in drugs, 9 times out of 10, they can tell you what the fuck he's on. But nobody does that because nobody believes it. Oh, motherfuckers just went crazy one day. Anyway, let me jump off of here. Just one more piece of the puzzle dropped into the frame. Call bullshit on this one too. Be my guest. With that, this is BGS out. I'll see you guys on the next one.